hello, everybody. Hey! Ohio?
Hey,
Oh, okay. There you are. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. So, hey guys, how's it going? My name is Justin.
Mark.
And you're watching or listening to episode 422 of DangIT Prodcast. Welcome back, everybody. And happy August, by the way. We are jumping to yet another month. Oh my god, we are halfway through 2022. Well, more than halfway 22 now.
I was like, we're definitely past that halfway point.
We're definitely past the halfway point since like July. But Mark, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
I'm doing good. All things considered, it's not the most eventful week of just events, but it's definitely a lot of stuff to just kind of take in regardless of wherever you like kind of find your interest at. Shout outs to Ibrahim in the chat. He's like, yes, the podcast.
Correct.
Consume podcast. Man, dude, I don't do it as often, but whenever I'm just like out and about driving here and there, I tend to listen to podcasts more than just listen to music. It's weird. I guess like maybe it's just like my taste just shifting over here and there, but it's definitely nice just to kind
I
of
do
like have
both.
them in the back.
I do both. I listen to music. I listen to podcasts.
That's fair. I could just never do both for sure. Like, I think, well, actually, I guess it's different when I'm working out. Like, if I guess I can listen to both, like, if I'm just like out and about walking, but music does kind of help out more over. But driving is like, let's just have like conversations happen. But I guess it's just, no, it's just like a matter of like interest at the time. But
Mhm.
going into stuff that's been happening this past week, this was happening. You know what? Yeah, I'm not sure if you have more like or older news like within like the start of the week. My news kind of starts as early as like Wednesday for Pokemon Presents.
Mhm.
But yeah, oh yeah, I'm reading Ibrahim in the chat. Sorry to hear about that. But here's some good news that popped in like in the middle of the week, which was Pokemon Presents. We were kind of due for like a new like update regarding like the game. I think last time we had one, I don't remember the date exactly. It could have been, you know what? I think I checked. It was probably the second trailer, which was like around February,
Yep,
and
it's been a while.
it's been a while for a game that's coming out in November. Yeah, we were due for something as far as like some updates here and there, and this one gave us quite a bit to kind of digest.
More
So
meaty.
they were in here confirming the new region Paldea as like a as just a typical region with like a lot of different terrain, a lot of different like climates, just to support all the different types of Pokemon out there. We saw some new mons, mainly just two for this one, and then we had like a Paldean form of like Generation 2 Wooper. So
Generation 2 Wooper. There's only one Wooper.
there is only one Wooper. I don't know why I specified that. I want sometimes I like to add extra fill into like describing a Pokemon. But there's only one Wooper, and I only realized like after the fact, after they announced it, I was like, oh yeah, that's right, Wooper is a very popular Pokemon.
Or
That's actually a really smart move of them to do that.
I pointed it out in the chat. I was like, "Yo, would you say Wooper?" You're like, "Wooper?"
Yeah, I was like, Wooper. I was like, that's kind of random, but okay. Like usually, like when I think about that, it's like Quagsire. Quagsire's the one. But yeah, no, Wooper's actually like right there.
Imagine the new Quagsire.
I don't know how dynamic or dramatic it's gonna be.
It'd be hilarious if like Wooper looks mostly the same, except for some color and like a little bit on the frills, and then Quagsire is just completely different.
Quagsire's just like a different skin. he's he's your alt colored one in Smash Brothers.
It's like it's Quagsire, but he's the same color as Wooper,
Hmm.
and he is as built as Mega Swampert.
Yeah, you know that's actually a really good thing that they could do. Quagsire does have a bit of utility in the games when you just play through initially, but I still feel like his stats are kind of like subpar in regards to most other like water ground, if not just like water or ground. But I think when you have a new form, that gives you the opportunity to kind of distribute like the stats a little bit differently. So they might want to do that with Quagsire. All I really
Hmm.
know is that Quagsire's shiny form is actually purple. So I'm wondering if it's gonna look kind of like that, and if it does have like that sheen of like purple, will shiny just be like a blue form of it?
Maybe.
They've done that before. They've done that for honestly, they've done it for the shiny forms for the Hisuian starters, where they all just have like their pretty much their older or their
Colors.
pre-existing generation forms in their color schemes.
Yeah. And of course, the talk of the town of the Pokemon that were revealed is Fido.
Yeah, Fido and Sea Titan. Sea Titan is the ice type.
Yeah, the ice whale.
But
The the
Fido
Terra
is
whale
the
Pokemon.
fairy, and as you could probably tell by like the naming, Fido is a puppy, and it took the internet by storm, including myself.
It's a play on words.
Yeah. So
Fido being a popular name for dogs, and then Doe as in, well,
yeah.
doe.
Listen, someone immediately came up with like the evolution, and it's literally Doberman. And I was like, wow, you know what? Listen,
It's too perfect.
I feel like
That's
Houndoom is
too
kind of
good.
closer to like a Doberman than most other Pokemon that we have.
It is.
So I don't know if they want to like try to like overstep there, but also at the same time, like that's a really great like play on words right there. So I'm all for it.
It's on the same level as Conquistador.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. He like me who wants Lechonk. Listen, I'm in the same
I
camp as
do want
both.
Lechonk. I love Lechonk. I
I'm
really
in
do
the
want.
Lechonk and the Fido fan club.
I like to Titan though. I think he's cool.
Yeah, I'm really curious about like whether that's going to be its own like staged evolution or like does it have other stages later on? Because that Pokemon's definitely had just each generation have like at least one Pokemon that doesn't have evolution, a la all the Pikachu forms. So,
Which is gonna be interesting if Palmy actually does end up having a evolution.
which one you were saying?
Palmy, the new
Oh, Palmy. Yeah, yeah. No, I think Palmy's gonna just have like that stage and that's it.
that'd be very interesting though if it did evolve.
Oh yeah, it's true.
That'd be the first time a Pikachu clone's ever evolved.
Palmy evolves into hands.
Palmy, Pansy.
My God, but I so that is like just two like additional like Pokemon that's been added in here, which has always been like something that I really like about just every new Pokemon game is just seeing like the brand new Pokemon. But
That's what everyone wants to see.
but ever since Gen 6, they've definitely started to include like different mechanics, and this one is kind of no exception. They added not just they're not
It's been a
only
very,
incorporating the right Pokemon
very,
stuff.
very diverse of new mechanic.
They got a new what was it, Terra types, Terra stall phenomenon going on. To pretty
Yeah,
much kind of just
terraforms.
yeah, to pretty much describe it, it's just that like Pokemon come in contact with these particular
Gems.
objects. What do we call them? Terrastallites? Something like that?
Yeah, it's essentially gems.
Gems. Like think Steven Universe. These Pokemon come in
It's a
good contact and this is kind of like the Dynamax like equivalent. So
except not as extravagant, I would say. It's more pretty.
it's more like look at the animation.
It's more than anything. It's like
Look at the
it's all
colors.
it's not my favorite mechanic, but it's meh.
Yeah, I feel like they really should kind of bring back some of the older mechanics, if not include anything new like that.
Like I understand that
I
they're
get it.
trying stuff new. I get it. I know they're trying to try some new stuff, see what happens, and I like it adds a typing. I think that's interesting.
Hmm.
But at the same time, I'm also like, look wise, not my favorite.
Yeah, because like you literally look at Persian in the trailer, and it's just like it's Persian but with a ring on it, like a big
It
ring.
basically, I know. And then like Quaxley's a fountain, and then
Yeah, it's true.
Boy Coco's a candle.
Starting to like,
It's like it's pretty to look at, but it's like in terms of is that cool or is that like
yeah,
oh that's awesome to see? It's like
yeah, because even with Dynamax, like there's the Gigantamax variants, and like those are
and
cool
those
by
were
themselves, but
cool.
like they get their own like unique forms. Although like those unique forms don't really like change like how they typically are within the whole scheme of like Dynamaxing. But even then, I think that the terrestrialization stuff is it takes
Maybe it'll
like
grow on us.
it adds a little bit of a different aesthetic to the Pokemon, so it isn't like Dynamaxing. Um, but I don't know. Like maybe I just don't have much of an opinion about like towards the Pokemon that don't have like Terra types. I do think these hidden like Terra like types are really interesting to consider. Where like it's a normal Pokemon without it, but like during that process, like they have a different typing added to them. So I believe one of the things that they noted was that Pikachu. I'm pretty sure this is like a pre-order bonus or like a day one, like limited time type of thing, where it's like, if you play the game like during this time frame, you will be able to redeem like a Pikachu that has like a flying Terra type, so that when like this regular Pikachu goes through the terrestrialization like process, it becomes a flying type. So I think like
Honestly.
exclusively, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, that's actually pretty cool. It's also just like a callback to just like Pikachu using fly, so I do like that.
Yeah, and like I said, maybe the terraforms will grow on us. Maybe like as we see them actually in game and play with them, maybe they'll actually grow on me. It's
Yeah,
just like at the current moment, I'm very meh.
yeah. I
It's
like
like
this.
it's interesting. It's just interesting, but visually speaking, it's like pretty, but not. It's not like wow.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. I kind of look at them and I think it's kind of like a mix between Dynamaxing and like a bit of Mega Evolution in the sense of just changing the typing somewhat. Um, but Dynamaxing also because it is like a very limited form that doesn't really like change like the physical nature of the Pokemon per se. Or actually, it kind of does. Maybe it is close to Mega Evolution, just a little
Yeah,
bit.
and I mean like close to Mega Evolution is where I'm like maybe I'm like, but Mega Evolution. Yes, it involves stones. Yes, it changes forms, but the way they both come out is very different.
It's definitely very different. It's like if if I tapped into this like process and I just had a cowboy hat and you're like, what is that? What are you doing, Justin? I'm like,
Meanwhile,
I'm
meanwhile,
terrestrialization.
Mega Evolution. Insert clip of Super Saiyan 3.
Ah, I see.
Ah,
No, 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 no. This is the new form. This is exactly what Super's trying to do. They're trying to like give us new forms.
yeah, but it's that's the thing. It's like that's the thing though with Mega Evolution. It's rather it's taking all that energy and painfully pushing it out into a new form.
Hmm.
Similar to when we saw the Super Saiyan 3 transformation because Goku looked like he was in pain.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there was a couple other things about the Pokemon Presents. They did talk. Well, they didn't really talk too much about the story. They just introduced like more characters. I think the somewhat story like central like thing about it is that your legendaries like Koraidon and Miraidon, they will join you in the middle of your journey. Some actually they didn't really specify when they would join it, but they are kind of pivotal to like just the whole ride Pokemon mechanic they've seen in Pokemon Legends Arceus. They will act as like they're literally gonna like act as like bikes, except for Koraidon. He doesn't actually use those wheels. They climb, they soar through the air. They also swim. I don't know how Koraidon's gonna do it, but
He's just
the,
gonna swim.
he's gonna paddle. It's like there's no fluffing
He said he's
between that.
swim. He's got legs.
He's
swim.
got legs. It's just to like,
And he's a
like,
reptile, so naturally he's got webbed feet.
oh yeah. I kind of understand that. That was another like thing that people were pointing out was the fact that like, listen, Caradon has like wheels, doesn't use them. He exclusively
Well, here's
uses
the
his
thing.
legs.
Well, here I think it's supposed to be like, he uses his legs, but I think the tire is meant to be symbolic of an older motorcycle, whereas with Muraidon it's meant to be like, a futuristic bike.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm still
Thanks
going with
Flintstones.
I mean, yeah. I was gonna say that like people are like saying like this is the Flintstones, which actually, if you
It's
like,
accurate.
yeah, it's pretty accurate actually.
The
So,
only thing that I say like is I've got a friend. He
mm,
saw it. He saw it later and sent this to my group chat. He said, "What the fuck is this? This just doesn't even look like Pokemon anymore." I was like, I mean, I disagree, but I mean, I guess I can see why you'd say that.
I've been
It's
saying
like,
that since, or I've been thinking that since I think when they jumped into Gen 6 with Mega Evolution, like this is starting to like go a little outside of Pokemon now.
oh no, Gen 6 I thought was still very Pokemon.
I mean, like obviously, like the problem is that like when you talk about new Pokemon and each design starts to not look like Pokemon.
That's because they're to try. I think it's also because like you got to. They're also trying to try new things, and I think with new things comes new looks, new mechanics, new this. They're trying to. I think they're trying to make sure Pokemon doesn't go stale,
Yes. I mean, they're
and
definitely trying
I
like
understand
methods here
that.
and there
Yeah,
and
it's
making
like I
sense.
understand that. Just think, could they just give us the same kind of thing of Pokemon, but with new Pokemon that work? Possibly, but I think they're just trying to keep it interesting. And of course, when you try to keep it interesting, you're also going to make some things that aren't going to be too popular. It's trial and error.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing to balance, and unfortunately, like you can only come up with one or the other, and the community will definitely start talking. I mean, that's why we're having a lot of these different like mechanics, such as Mega Evolution, such as what was it, the Z moves, and then onwards
I mean,
towards like Dynamaxing.
Mega Evolution was a huge hit.
Yeah, it was actually really good. It
Everyone loved Mega Evolution.
and I kind of wonder why they stopped doing that per se, and they started to just kind of like, or you know what? I think it's because of the exclusivity of like Mega Evolutions, because they couldn't outright give every Pokemon like Mega Evolutions because
Well, they could.
the like okay yeah like if this was someone who like give this to the hands of someone else and they can write this all like, oh hey, Pikachu has a Mega Evolution, not Raichu, Pikachu has Mega Evolution. It's like, what?
Well, what I mean by that is give every Pokemon that's the final or only in their line a Mega Evolution.
I mean, give it to the hands of someone else and they would say, nah, like we got fourth evolutions now. Like everyone,
I
like
mean,
Raichu has a
I
new
mean
evolution now.
they did scrap an evolution for Raichu years ago.
Hmm. So
Gorochu.
I mean, given the circumstances, like they decided to kind of go with that. Actually,
Yeah.
I'm kind of like low key on board with like another evolution stage for like a lot of the Pokemon. If anything, just to kind of give like those that are a little bit weaker in the sets like more utility. But I also understand that like
That's what the regional
that
variants have been doing.
yeah, I think you know what? Yeah, the variance is actually really smart because if
Another
you
thing they made that was super popular, Mega Evolutions, regional variants. These have all been great ideas.
yeah, regional variance is like an excellent idea. And I want to say that you know what, I wanted to kind of take back what I said about or retract my thoughts about a fourth evolution or additional evolutions, because evolutions by themselves is a totally okay thing, but to take it within the stance of like, oh, I just want to buff up the stats for these Pokemon, it's kind of like more forward into like the battling like mindset, and like you're starting to take away from like just the natural bit that is just Pokemon just existing to
I mean,
exist, and not
I
all of them
mean,
are and not all of them
to
are
be,
just meant to like beat the shit out of each other.
to be fair, what do you think of when you think of Pokemon? Catching and evolving. Like I,
Catching and battling and winning.
I think of like catching, evolving, battling. That's what I think of when I think Pokemon. Like evolving is just, I feel like
Yeah.
it is legit just one of the core things you think about when you think of Pokemon.
I actually think about that like with Digimon a little bit more over than Pokemon now.
Oh, especially with Digimon. Digimon evolving is a huge part of it.
Yeah. But I also like, you know, like, certainly Pokemon is like at the core a franchise that are more that's mainly centered around like battling, trading, and winning. But I know
Getting
that
the
Pokemon
ball.
also has expanded so that like there's a world, like a contextual sense of like the Pokemon existing,
World building.
world building. So outside of trainers just like trying to coexist with Pokemon just kind of existed, and they have these forms for different reasons. They definitely survive in their own world, but not all of them just kind of like have this hyper sense of like battle that we're so used to. So I kind of look at it that perspective as well. So that's why I was like, maybe they don't need to have like another evolution that's kind of like forced for battle. Maybe moreover, just like for survival for sure. That's why the regional variants work.
Because but it applies to Darwin's theory. Darwin's theory of
Right.
evolution. Or he went all to all the different islands that had these different types of finches that adapted to each island.
Yeah. I will say the darkest one I've seen, and there's a fair number of ghost Pokemon, right? The one that got me is Corsola.
Oh,
Corsola's got like a really sad tale where like it's like most others got like their entire like in their own ecosystem like completely like shoveled by like some other like thing, some natural causes
yeah.
here and there maybe. But for Corsola, like it literally lost everything, and so they just like became husks.
Oh, it is a reference to what's happening to actual coral.
Yes. And what was it? Whooper, not as dark, kind of also follows the same line where it's like it because it's water ground, it usually like lives near like ponds and whatnot. But because like in this region, Paldea region, these Whooper have lost a lot of their land, so in order or their waters, so in order to coexist and with everybody, they adapted more to the ground by giving themselves an extra coat of like dirt, and they've just kind of adapted into a new poison ground typing,
Like I
which
said,
is
what's the reason for the poison?
I do not know. I do not know. I don't know what kind of mud they like rolled into, but it worked.
There's a the poison. What the poison?
Maybe the poison has just like a much more protective like membrane for them.
It keeps me safe.
Because otherwise, I'd argue like, oh, maybe the Wooper just become fully ground type. Maybe they can do that, but it's like, nah. I guess they have to do something else to kind of like trade off of like the lack of water. So they came up with this.
To keep from drying out while living on land, they began to cover their bodies with a poisonous film.
Yeah.
Why's
Well,
it gotta be
actually,
poisonous?
you know what? That makes sense because they're not affected by poison at all. Oh, that's
I
smart.
mean,
Oh
is any
shit.
is any poison type affected by poison?
Poison's unaffected by poison. It's like
Exactly.
poison versus ground. That's where they drew all the equation there. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. I remember on one of my streams, I decided to battle a viewer, and they threw in toxic spikes, and I was like, oh, here comes the big brain. I throw in my ground type, and none of the toxic spikes like hit at all until I swapped into something else. I think it's no, actually no, that wasn't ground. It was actually like Caesar, and that steel typing helped out a lot. But
Yeah, poison doesn't do anything still.
yeah, so maybe that was the thing. But like poison the ground is, if anything, just not effective at all. So yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense now I think about it. Again, kind of drawing back to the original point, regional variants, great. Mega evolutions are really good too. Especially since mega evolutions are more like towards like battling, and it has something to do with like the bond between like the trainer and Pokemon. So naturally regular like Pokemon, wild Pokemon don't have access to this type of thing. So it can fall like separate from like the whole like evolution lining of things. It's just its own thing. So, and then Z moves are also kind of a similar like thing, and I think with Z moves it kind of helps to apply to any Pokemon that you decide to battle with, and that's kind of the same thing with like Dynamaxing. And I guess for some reason some just have like a different form entirely. Like Pikachu gets the P.
Blastoise just becomes an absolute cannon.
He becomes
It
the
becomes
cannon.
it becomes a fortress.
Venusaur just like has its like complete plant overgrow itself, and Charizard just gets a big belly.
Charizard becomes a huge mythical dragon.
Oh, actually, Charizard, if I recall, loses its wings in this form. I was like,
Does
what?
it?
Yeah, double check that because I think its wings become like inflamed. If not, those are just like swapped out. We might need to check a model on that one because I was like,
Let me check. Oh, yeah, his wings are just flames.
yeah, wings are just flames, which is kind of dope. I'm not gonna lie, but I was like, oh man. Now, if anything, it's just now just fire.
Fire.
And PK fire. Oh god. I just unlocked like a memory of just the like that pilot wing stage in Smash Bros. Just PK fire.
PK
PK
fire! Gabe, I'm gonna fucking kick you in the dick.
fire. Me over here in the corner, I was like, the rocks, the rocks, the rocks. Don't
It
bring
really
up the
do be
super
your own.
toilet. There was so much clogging.
So much clogging.
But let me see what else is there. Oh yeah, I did want to point out
The trap.
the internet had a ball like seeing Grusha for the first time. Grusha is the new ice like gym leader. Turns out it's a he, but you don't really know that until like you check out like the website or even like listen in on what they were saying about like a bit of like
It
Grusha's
wouldn't be the
backstory.
first time. They
Everyone
got us
had
with that last. They got us with that in Generation 8.
hmm. Yeah, that was funny. I love the internet for that.
In Gen 8, they legit got us with the same shit. Because like I remember the one that the fairy type gym leader wanted him to succeed her.
We're talking about Gen 8 and are we talking about
Pink
BD?
hair. Yeah, Beatty.
Well, I mean, huh. I guess.
No one knew what the fuck he was.
No, wait, what is BD then?
Beatty's a boy.
Okay. No, that's kind of like the conclusion I drew like first impression.
Cap.
No, I'm serious. I'm
Cap.
dead serious. I'm dead serious. No cap.
Cap.
I saw BD for the first time. I was like, oh, just some like narcissistic dude.
Are you saying women can't be narcissistic?
Not saying that. I'm just describing my encounter and my impressions of BD as a whole. And there wouldn't be anything wrong if like it turns out like BD was like a girl, but it's one of those things where and in that context, in that encounter, and as far as just like seeing the personality, it didn't really matter as far as gender. But as far as like me just kind of like encountering like this person, I kind of just like in my head just identified them as like a dude, and it
I
didn't really
couldn't tell.
matter at the end of the day. But I get though, especially after like BD's transformation, once spoilers, he becomes like the fairy gym leader. But yeah, say cap all you want. That's I literally like saw BD as a dude, and
I'm just saying
unfortunately,
because
okay.
are you saying nothing at him at all looked feminine?
I would say only when like he turned into like a fairy gym leader, I was like, that's a little. different from like how he behaved like previously. But like that didn't really bother me as far as like what I saw. It was that
Discord.
unfortunately, unfortunately, I had that same like identity profile, if you will, towards Grusha. I like automatically thought like, oh, that's a girl, and I saw I was like, oh, that's actually a dude. Nice.
Yeah, like look at Discord right now.
Look at Discord right now. All right.
Yeah, see, I see that. I think female because a hairstyle rather feminine, leggings rather feminine. Also pink, which no, yes, men can wear pink, but it's normally a female associated color.
I don't know. I usually like. Sorry, I saw you, Bram. Oh yeah, the new Ice Type Gym Leader. Oh my God, it's a guy. Holy fish paste! It's a guy.
Oh no, he's hot.
Now, see the whole thing about like the color pink and this gender association with it. Like I've seen that like way in the past, but I've kind of like conditioned myself to not like see it like as such. As far as like the design of like BD, honestly, like if I was me like way back, I probably wouldn't be able to identify like BD just by this image alone.
Well, it's also the fact
Brian,
of yes,
Brian, how dare you
men.
throw the bonk at me?
It's like yes,
Hi,
it's like
Brian.
yes, men can wear pink, and pink isn't exclusively female. But I am gonna say that I do feel pink usually is associated with things that would be considered feminine,
Yeah, I
like say
understand that
like
though.
especially like hearts and stuff like that. Those kind of things that are usually considered more feminine, more light, more love.
No, I understand. It's just that when I saw BD, well, not the image that you're showing me here, but when I like encountered BD in the game, one, it kind of didn't really matter what the gender was there. But I
I'm not
did
saying it
like in the
matters.
back
I'm
of my
just
head
saying like I'm
just thought
surprised
like
you didn't
this
get
is
as
just a
confused.
guy and he's just being an asshole to
I
my friend Hop.
I was just sitting there because like I'm not saying it matters as much as it is. I'm in shock that you would just look at that and go, "Oh, clearly that's a man."
Yeah, I wish I could go back and see like how I was able to identify it, but I couldn't do it like based on just like that image alone.
Oh yeah, when they found out that that dude was a dude, the art, it stopped completely.
Oh yeah, but let me check what Ibrahim was saying. See someone on Twitter do something. Oh, that's always a good thing. About the character, and when they found out that they were a guy, they stopped it completely. The art completely. I think I know which one you're talking about.
I guarantee you, because they were drawing NSFW of because they thought it was a girl. They thought it was a woman. They were drawing some sexy drawings, and they said, "Oh, oh."
Listen, when you're trying to like draw at the speed of sound, like there's so many things you can like possibly keep in mind of. The internet's so quick.
You're not wrong. The internet is extremely quick.
There's a funny meme where it was like I forget which movie it was. Maybe it was Megamind. I forget, but it was just like someone running at speed sound, and you see like another person like as like Rule 34 saying like going somewhere. It's,
Going somewhere. I mean, they could just take this art and call it gender bent.
ain't fair. That's totally fine. Because I mean, I won't dive into this because I'm not like one to be like in a position to really talk about this in like grand detail. But like for Grusha as a character, it could just be a thing where like sexually they're like something else, and then like gender wise they're identified as something else. You know,
I don't. Um, I don't know if I can see Pokemon doing that. They could,
they could,
but
but I
I don't see it
understand.
being likely.
Yeah,
I think they're trying to stay out of that.
yeah. Although I guess like for Pokemon they don't hold back with just kind of drawing something that looks like something else, but it turns out to be something else.
I mean, yeah, but then again, I mean, let's take for example, Inosuke.
You know, yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, now we're. I mean that's kind of like anime as like kind of a whole now. Um,
Inosuke, manly body, very pretty boy face.
and then boop, you're like, oh my god.
Oh no, he's hot.
What the hell are you looking at?
It's because he's got a very girl-like face.
I like there's definitely a comedy aspect to like Inosuke's face, but like once everyone's used to it, it's like, oh, okay, yeah.
That's just his face.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's just how it does. It's like, it could be considered like they just drew this character this way. They just have some people just interpret it that way, or it could be a, huh, gotcha, you thought this was a girl.
Bruh. Ooh. Sorry, I yeah, I was thinking about something where it's like, oh, where some people like actually weapon I wouldn't say weaponize because that's really too like intense. But they definitely like take advantage of like, oh, actually, this is actually like say a dude or a girl or something like that. Just to throw people, it's like the full intention is just to throw the audience off instead of just being like how it is.
Gotcha.
Episode 1. Boku no Pico. Good lord. I'll stop.
My eyes, they burn.
I'll stop. I'll stop right there.
My eyes, they burn.
But yeah. So TLDR, everyone like had a field day with Grusha, both like in drawings and also just revelations about themselves. Eram, how dare you? He bonked me too.
I heard that boom.
I love the bonks. Oh yeah, just to let everybody know, this is specifically towards like Twitch and not really YouTube like uploaded podcast, but I did change the cost of the sound alerts, so they're way lower now. Yeah, aptly timed. Yeah, okay.
Right.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, this is kind of like hopping past over like the next topic that I had, but I got some new like add-on stuff for like the workstation. One of them's like a really huge stream deck. It's the XL. So you see the panels of like just the sound effects that I got right now. That's the usual size of the stream deck, and here's like the rest of it for an XL. So I'm like, this is going to be the sound
Holy
machine.
shit.
So, well, and the really cool thing is the
massive.
fact that like it's like magnetized too. So like it splits off from here
Magnets.
and just like snaps on like that.
Magnetism.
Yeah, dude. When you open the box for the Stream Deck XL, it's like, oh my god, this is like a legitimate thing.
You gonna have like 30 sounds.
Yeah, I'm gonna have all the sounds. It's gonna be great. And you can use this in tandem with any other Extreme Deck you have. So I still have it's kind of a shorter like cable. But I still have the Stream Deck over here as well. So you can use them both in tandem.
Oh, you're gonna have like 40 sounds.
Yeah, essentially. It means I have all of the sounds.
Goes and buys like 5 of the XLs.
Yeah, the reason I did that was so that I had better access to like voice mod, so I can like change it on the fly. However, I'm having some issues on Discord being able to connect it. I tried doing it during the call last night when it was with our Mario Kart thing with Phil, and unfortunately no sound was coming through.
It's heavy.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how to work with it like on Discord, but as far as just like what you guys hear, shoot, it's been a while. I was like, how do I change it again? Oh yeah, that's how I change it. And I can still do all these different like sound effects here and there. Huh, megaphone's not working still. It's weird. But yeah. So now I have much more like customization on that front. So I'm gonna need to spend a little bit more time just kind of going into the works of the Stream Deck XL and just seeing how much do I want to add, which ones do I want to add. It'll be an interesting endeavor to kind of go through all that. The other thing I got was just uh pretty much a whole wireless set, keyboard and mouse. So I got a 60% keyboard right here and just a wireless mouse to boot with that. So your boy's going wireless, and I have so much real estate over on the desk now. So if I want one of those top-down shots, it's definitely viable.
It's real estate.
Hey, it's free real estate.
Exactly.
I did want to test this out, like running through some PC/Xbox games. I was trying to update, or I was trying to play, but I ended up having to update quite a bit of Sea of Thieves last night because Sea of Thieves actually has an update, a pretty big one. Um, Straight up, like very tempting. Um, we were able to pretty much finally have more customization towards your ship. So it isn't one of those things where like you just get like a boat, a randomized boat. I mean, you can still do that, but now you have more of an ownership towards like whatever
Taking
ship you
your
decide to
own
buy.
ship and name it.
And I think that's really cool because for the longest time, like the ship was just simply something for you to go from point A to point B. Um, and it was definitely one of those like things where like if it sinks, it sinks. Especially when you're trying to transfer stuff over like on island, but they made it a lot easier in this update. I didn't write this as a topic. I just think it was really that interesting of an update. In the sense that in the game, especially early on, you had like three factions that you try to like put your ranks toward to like get to like 50 each to make yourself into a pirate legend. And one of the issues was one the travel distance between the ship and to that specific like merchant. And now I believe they have something right on the dock where like you could just simply distribute it to like this one person, you get the rewards without having to go the extra like
Sovereigns.
distance. What was
Yeah,
that?
the sovereigns.
Yes, yeah, well, yeah, the sovereigns, yes. So I think that's
They'll
actually
turn
really
in.
cool.
They'll turn it in for you.
They'll turn it in for you, like nice. I appreciate that.
And of course, with the at the shipwright, we can now purchase supplies of cannonballs, food, planks.
Yes,
Ah,
that's really nice. So you're not just out there hunting for it. It's like, ah, man, this is so inconvenient. But now you can just, with some money, you definitely like stock up on everything that you need right then and
here
there.
we have captain's voyages.
I was that everything I had at? Well, I definitely do just mainly just the customization like of the ship. Like you can customize like captain's quarters, so it's much more you. What I remember was that you have all these different like personal like things like in that room, and obviously like as you're like going around, like things get knocked over, you can like adjust them as you normally
I love that
would.
you like you can just adjust it like
Yeah,
just like that's great.
I like that. But yeah, I think that's all. I definitely want to jump into that at some point. I just don't know where I could fit some time for that because your boy's still trying to get through like Mon Hunt. I am
I was
currently
gonna
having a
say
ball with that.
after Mon Hunts are the seas calling us again?
We could try to do that. Honestly, like aside from trying to incorporate Pokemon to like literally anything, and also Xenoblade, yeah, we could do that in between.
I mean, like you could just make a day for. We just make like a day for it.
Sure. It'll have to be like on the weekend or something like that. But yeah, yeah, we'll look into that. Yeah, getting closer in Monster Hunter though, regardless. Also, yeah. Oh, actually, first of all, I just wanted
Oh
to
yeah,
say,
I know about that, Abe. I know that a manga actually did become part of the Japanese like government. Actually, officially, it's fucking incredible.
okay, well, I guess we will just kind of jump into that a little bit. Yeah, I actually didn't know about that.
Yeah, it's
That's
going like he's trying to help with all kinds of fair use laws and shit. I think.
interesting. I didn't. Oh, okay, okay. So it can kind of span over there. Has anyone really been talking about that though?
It was a small amount of news for a little bit. It's been a bit. Like I think that was news like a couple weeks ago, I believe.
Oh, okay. I do know that that was definitely an issue, just like on the platform of YouTube of all places.
Well, I wouldn't say that, Abe. I wouldn't say because just think he's one man in an entire system.
Yeah, and even then, like, um, if we're talking about the same person, totally not Mark, right? Um,
Yep, that was a big debacle.
it was huge, but they were able to kind of like resolve things, and it's really nice for him. But definitely, if you were anyone smaller than him, then you might come across more issues trying to get past that. But yeah, Ibrahim was saying like with this, it could mean that copyright won't be like an issue because of the use of Goku, Luffy, etc. It could be used in YouTube videos. Well, it depends. Well,
Because well, it's
depends on the
because you'll hear
context.
this. Even people who let's say this people who live in Japan that are originally from the West who have learned a lot about Japan living there
Hmm.
have told us that Japan's copyright laws, and this is from also some of them are actually also Japanese, and they've said that Japan their copyright laws are very ancient, very old, outdated. Like they need to be updated.
So I'm hearing is the time is now, old man. Your days are
The
numbered.
future is now, old man.
it's, it's funny, but I guess yeah. Actually, since we're like on the topic of manga and animation, Mark, what were the things you wanted to talk about?
Oh yeah, they have announced a few things actually. A few Shonen Jump series, not just one, a couple, have finally gotten their anime adaptation announcements. For
Okay,
example, Undead Unluck got its anime announcement, and so did the long-awaited Kaiju number 8.
was goaded.
Kaiju number 8, that's awesome to see it finally getting an anime. And of course, we already know Mashal got its anime announcement. A lot of good series getting their anime announcements, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's good.
Chainsaw Man had its new trailer come out.
Damn, dude, I could just talk about that. It's
It's a pretty wild trailer.
like, what the hell? Like, that's their budget?
It's Mappa. Could you expect anything less?
I mean, nevertheless, but I wasn't expecting this much more. Because this is kind of like even above and beyond like what I usually see from them. Granted, I think it
You
might
know,
be an
well,
art style type of decision.
it's also because they know the level of IP they're dealing with, probably.
Yeah. Dude, those people from Appa need to sleep.
And of course, Mappa also announced they'll be working on their first isekai.
Oh, Jesus, dude. They don't get this. There's no pause.
Yep, they'll be doing their very first isekai.
Do we know anything more about that?
We know which isekai they're doing.
Oh?
I believe the name is. I think I know what it is, but let me
Yeah.
let me just say. Let me make sure I get the name right.
Okay. Okay.
Campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill.
Oh, okay. That's not the one I was expecting. Figured that they want to go into the wheelhouse of like just crazy. I mean, granted, isekais always like do that to us. They always just like do some like, over the top stuff. But I wasn't expecting that immediately.
Yep, campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill.
I'll have to see. Like, did I have anything else in regards to? I guess I'm looking for like an image of like this. This works.
Oh, I can give you that.
Aye, okay. I thought I just saw
There you
something.
go.
Oh, oh, okay. They have the slime. They have the slime. Okay,
Oh yeah, this will be Mappa's first ever isekai they've ever done. So that's cool.
okay. I'm curious to see like how crazy this can end up being.
Absolutely, like it's definitely gonna because it's interesting because all they've ever really done, as long as I've known Mappa, it's been mostly shonen, maybe a little bit of
Yeah.
seinen, and then yeah, it's mostly just
Okay.
shonen and seinen they've done. So this would be very interesting seeing them actually adapt a isekai.
Got you. Also, yeah, I actually forgot. I brought this over because of the whole Chainsaw Man like adaptation. I got the foam finger right here. Let's go.
Let's go. Oh my! What a failed opportunity! You could have used that in a reaction video to the trailer.
My God, dude, I was floored when I saw that trailer. Like, I decided to just like check it out as a whim because, like, you know, obviously, like the first teaser that they showed off, and I was like, that's really cool. Like, it actually looks really good. And then this one shows up and it's just like that, but it's like a longer video of more animation like that, and I was like, yo, this is crazy, bruh.
And you already know the dog is already selling plushies like hotcakes.
No, definitely, that's good. I definitely like this is without ever reading anything from Chainsaw Man, even though I could totally do that. Um, just not knowing what the story is. It's kind of that in like Jujutsu Kaisen, like like from an outside perspective. Before even watching all that, I was like, this one's getting a lot of like popularity. I wonder why that is.
Attention. I don't know. Getting a whole lot of attention.
Yeah, and I think I look at Chainsaw Man, and I just kind of look at that and think that like, oh, the popularity is because of just like this one character. Right, but there's clearly not, that's not the case. But I will not deny the fact that like Chainsaw Man as a character design does kind of raise an eyebrow immediately,
You're like,
and therefore helps to kind of like do the immediate click on that. That's for sure.
bet.
And like, all right, I'll check it out. And you know what, like, I think I was also the same way with Spy X Family, because like it's one of those things where like I could check it out, but I was like, you know what, it's kind of interesting how this one's gaining a lot of popularity. I wonder why that is. And now the like the first like seasons like there, I totally get it now.
Right, we're waiting for part 2.
Yeah, that's October, right?
I believe so.
Nice. But was that it for as far as like the share of like anime stuff
As
and
far
manga?
as the anime adaptations that were announced.
Hmm.
However, I will say that Viz has also been adding a lot more content to their vault.
Oh, okay. Well, let's take a look.
Like, I didn't even know some of these series existed, and I'm like, oh, this seems low key kind of interesting.
Oh my god, is that Dick Fight Island?
Is that Dick Fight Island?
Bruh. Love it.
Like Tagami Bachi. Like I was like Tagami. I was like, this cover looks interesting. What is Tagami Bachi? In the words of Anaya, it's the mailman.
Hmm.
It's quite literally a shonen where it's legit about mailmen,
That's great.
sci-fi mailmen.
Hoping to see more from that one then. Ooh, this is like loading for me. Taking a while too, but it is what it is.
Did it actually get an anime?
What did?
Oh, Tagami Bachi, did it actually get an anime? What? No, it did. I think it did a long time ago.
Hmm. Look this stuff up here too. Damn One
I
Piece.
was like, my goodness, how did I never know about the mailman?
Actually, I'm now taking a look at all the additional things. Is Blue Exorcist still going? Oh my god.
I believe so.
Like that latest chapter just like 3 days ago. Also World Trigger as well. Oh,
Okay,
but
another one that I saw was Whack Whack.
excuse me.
I'm gonna have to type it out because you're not gonna know how to spell it if I don't.
Okay, okay. Oh, but how about my favorite series? P P P P P P P.
Honestly, I thought that was gonna get axed, but apparently it's doing really well.
Aye, okay. Oh, there's actually that one series that we talked about briefly, Earthchild. That's still going.
Earthchild, like I need to catch up, but it's been really good.
Wasn't there also like a smartphone one?
Oh yeah, Super Smartphone's been very good.
Oh, let me see. Like, is that released like in chunks? 'Cause I'm not seeing it as like. Oh, actually, here's Whack Whack. I see it right here. The illustrate like that first cover is actually really like eye catching. The colors are really cool.
Very interesting.
Whack Whack. Sorry.
I was reading it. I'm like this. I was reading it. I'm like this isn't bad.
But okay. Yeah, I'm about to like nosedive into all these different series and just take a look. But okay. Last thing I had to add to what's been happening recently was the Mario Kart 8 DLC Wave 2 came out like this past week. And as noted like before, they added two different cups, each with their like own four sets of tracks. So I have it right here. Turnip Cup has was it Mario Kart Tour's New York Minute. We have the SNES from Super Mario Kart, Mario Kart or Circuit, Mario Circuit 3. And then they had the Calamari Desert from 64, and they also had Waluigi Pinball from DS. Ibrahim was like, "Bro, I wanted to play more of New York Minute. That should go hard." And next cup, Propeller Cup. They have the Sydney Sprint. That's actually Phil's favorite. Snowland from Super Circuit. Mushroom Gorge from Wii. And Sky High Sunday from I believe that's like a new thing. Either that or it's from Tours. And I will say I do like the add-ons for Calamari Desert. I think Sydney Sprint's actually a favorite of mine as well. With New York Minute's also pretty cool too. And of course Waluigi Pinball's like up there. But yeah, we did a stream like literally last night with Phil. What was it? Hosting that stream, and we went through every single track. So it was I'm not gonna lie, it was rough for your boy. I was like I only got like first like once. I don't know what happened. Like I thought I was a wizard at this game. Nah. I was getting hit by red shells like left and right, and I was like, why me? It's always me.
Why me?
I will say, damn, I wish that Phil was actually here. Because I wanted to bring up the fact that like for some reason, like on his stream, I was just checking out earlier this morning while I was like cleaning up like the old keyboard, replacing it with this one that I currently have. Like I could barely be heard. I could barely be heard. And granted, Sephi and Brian at the time, you could still kind of hear them. Their voices are a little bit low, but for some reason mine's like lower. And sometimes you can't even like hear like any input from my mic. And I was like, what the hell, bruh? Why is this happening? Why me? It's always me. Yeah, I'll reach out to him
when your
about
mic
that.
gets hit with the shell.
I always get hit by that shell. And like some of the most unfortunate things happened to me during that like race. I was like, man, this hurts. But it was still fun regardless.
But everyone had fun.
Mm-hmm. We actually had like Waluigi Pinball start off first. I was like, nice, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. So yeah, it's just so baffling. Like I know, like we are hype about these new like cups and the returning like tracks, but it is something that like will extend to the end of 2023. So it's like what I guess like I'm not opposed to it. It's just it's kind of like crazy, just given like the release of like the game originally, the fact that it comes out on the Switch like a few months after like Switch's like initial launch, and then later on it gets the DLC stuff. So that's really just Nintendo looking at all that sales numbers and thinking like, okay, we can definitely add more to like this game. We don't need to like really come up with a brand new Mario Kart. We could just add all these like courses and people will play it, and they're not wrong. Absolutely not. But well, Ebram was saying like, also 0 out of 10, huh? Not accurate. There's no Empire State Building. Damn, you're right. I'm pretty sure the like, well, I guess they could have like added something like that, or you know, it depends on like where you're looking in New York Minute. But I also like that track too. Honestly, the tours ones, like the tour tracks, are like the most interesting because not one of them is like a whole looped section. Like each one had like an elaborate like deviation of courses like within that track. So, and that's just just to adhere to like what tours was all about, which also had like variations in their tracks as well. So I do like that a lot. I guess in that case, Sky High Sunday was definitely a new thing, because that one was just like a looped like track for the like over the course of 3 laps. But I really like the aesthetic of Sky High Sunday. It's as you expected. It's kind of like shoot, what was that one track that's like it's essentially like Sweet Mountain in like Sonic, whereas like everything is just like candy is something like everything is like edible. But it's pretty much like that. The best part about like Sky High Sunday is that like at the starting line you look to the left and it's just like it's a bar with ice cubes as like part of the tables and people are just being served, or at least you would assume so. You're like, oh, that's a nice aesthetic. And oh, also they also have like these railings like in the middle of the tracks that act, and everything is here is just like anti-gravity. So you just get boosted like from like these railings and as well as everyone else. So it's like nice. I feel like you don't really get that too much in the tracks. Ibrahim, you were saying also I had a huge hunch that they were going to cut content from the previous courses, and they cut off like so many stuff. I was right. I will say, I was talking about Calamari Desert for a little bit, but they did change that a lot. They changed it so that like by the second course, you are going into the tracks and you're going into the cave. You are trying to dodge like the train, and just some piece of advice: stay on the right side when you're like up against the train, and you'll not be interrupted within the course of the race.
Ah, I see.
Because I literally went left and I was like, that was immediate regret.
Instant regret.
Instant regret. But yeah, I really like the changes that they added there. um Snowland was totally fine. Mushroom Gorge, took it accustomed I had to like get accustomed to like the balance of like which mushrooms. Red is good, green is just flat. So just be aware of that. um and you know, Waluigi pinball still slaps. That's all there is to it.
Still pings.
Yeah. Here's my thing. I still wish for Double Dash. Like they could do it
Maybe someday.
one day. Maybe once like Deluxe is like done with all the DLC stuff. Maybe we'll see something for like Double Dash. Maybe. Otherwise, I'll have to go get my hands on like a copy of that. But that's pretty much everything I had to say about all things that happened like this past week. I'm honestly just happy because all of the new kits are like right in front of me. Uh, Ibrahim, what were we saying? Blue one in the cave is a glider section. Oh, okay. Actually, that makes sense. The blue aesthetic, yeah, it does lead to gliding stuff. Yeah, no, we got the keyboard right here. We just went all wireless. I'm currently using a different like mouse pad because I need to do a whole bunch of cleaning for everything. I have the old stuff here. Oh my god, if it can just not be stuck on the other cable. So like this is the old mouse from I think 19. I don't remember when we went out to the Fries to literally get the Fries. No, Fries Electronics to get all the different peripherals and like components for like the PC that is out as today. But I literally went through. I removed even the keycaps for like the old keyboard and cleaned every individual thing up, cleaned like the base of it, and I just like put in back the keys. So it was my last little service to the thing before I put it in storage, put in the tub of all the other like keyboards and mice that I have. But I'm happy because with this, I was talking about earlier, it does allow for more real estate here, so that if I ever want like a top-down shot, I can actually do that. So, and not be cluttered. I can also just freely like move food on this space too. That's also the good thing about it, because I could just literally like, oh, more space. I literally have the Nendoroid Kirby like right here, right next to the stream deck. Such a small thing, but he can just chill out here too. Yeah, I think that's everything. Mark, was there anything else you want to add? I think we'll go ahead and call otherwise.
Nothing I can think of at the moment.
Okay. Man, I think the last thing I can ever say is just like, there's just so many things to do. There's so many games. There's so much. Oh, one last thing. Ibrahim was saying in Sydney Sprint, I was on the final lap, about to get first, and I was I was stuck at the last jump and got like 6th. That's what happened to me last stream actually with Phil, where like I got really close. I was at least 2nd or something like that, and I just got hit with a roadblock, and I ended up in 7th. I was like, fuck. It hurts. But you know what? It never hurts as much as like getting first and then immediately being the first to be last. If you catch my drift. I've seen many fallen from that point, and I'm glad I don't ever get like that. Everyone was saying I got stuck on the job and I was completely neutral. I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Type out. Pay respects. But yeah, all right. We'll go ahead and call it here. So thank you guys so much for tuning in for this another episode of DangIT Prodcast. This has been episode 422. My name is Justin.
Mark.
And thanks for watching, everybody. Hashtag bye, everyone. Also, Ibrahim was like, fuck this game. All right. Bye, everyone.